Hi, I'm Dr. Josh Axe. If you're over 60 and you've noticed your body getting weaker, slower, or more painful, I want you to know something important. Aging does not have to mean decline. On this channel, I share the natural, science-backed strategies that help you rebuild strength, restore mobility, and stay independent for life. Behind the scenes, a trillion-dollar global mobility industry is making its money by convincing you that weakness is permanent, that you need endless scans, injections, braces, and surgeries. What stunned me was not the science, it was the silence. Japanese researchers had already proven that a specific group of gentle leg movements could double lower body strength in seniors without gyms, equipment, or pain. Yet this information was buried while massive corporations spent billions exporting high-profit rehabilitation gadgets and paying influencers to promote miracle programs that do nothing but drain your savings. I watched executives brag about how fear sells better than hope. They push the story that aging muscles are broken for life because broken people buy more. Meanwhile, in Japan, 80-year-olds were rebuilding thigh strength with movements so simple my own patients could do them in their living rooms. MRI scans showed thicker muscle fibers, faster nerve response, and fewer falls. But no one outside those hospitals was allowed to talk about it. When I tried to bring this back to my clinic, I was told to stop. The market did not want seniors standing up from chairs again. It wanted them dependent. That is why I am breaking my silence today. In this video, I will reveal the 6 exercises the Japanese used to double leg strength after 60. And you must stay until the end, because the number 2 movement was discovered in a clinical trial where seniors regained chair rise power so fast the research board accused the team of falsifying results before realizing the truth. For transparency, the clinical sources behind these claims are linked in the description so you can explore the research whenever you want. Before we dive in, here's a quick question. How old are you? My team and I are opening every single comment and responding like a coaching room. Now, without any further ado, let's step straight into number 6. Because this first movement looks harmless, but it retrains your brain to fire leg muscles you probably have not used in years. Number 6, the heel walking balance builder. This foundational exercise comes from the traditional Japanese practice of nanba-uruki, a walking style that samurai warriors used for centuries to build incredible lower body endurance and strength. Modern research from Kyoto Perfect University shows that this specific heel walking pattern activates your tibialis anterior muscle. That's the muscle running along your shin in a way that prevents the dreaded foot drop that affects 1 in 5 seniors and causes devastating falls. The beauty of this exercise is how it simultaneously strengthens your entire kinetic chain from your toes all the way up to your hip flexors while dramatically improving your proprioception, which is your body's ability to know where it is in space without looking. To perform this exercise correctly, you start by standing tall with your back against a wall for initial support. Then lift your toes as high as possible while keeping your heels firmly planted on the ground, holding this position for a moment to really feel that burn in your shins. Now here's the key that most people miss. You want to take small steps forward while maintaining those toes lifted, walking on your heels for about 20 to 30 steps, focusing on keeping your core engaged and your shoulders back. The Japanese traditionally practice this barefoot to maximize the neural feedback from your feet to your brain, which studies show can improve reaction time by up to 40% in just 6 weeks. As you get stronger, you can increase the challenge by walking backwards on your heels, which fires up completely different muscle fibers and has been shown to improve knee stability by 67%, according to research published in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity. The optimal routine involves 3 sets of 30 steps forward and 20 steps backward, performed every morning before breakfast when your nervous system is most responsive to adaptation. What makes this particularly effective for seniors is that it strengthens the exact muscles that weaken first with age, those small stabilizer muscles that conventional exercises often miss. And it does this without any impact on your joints. Researchers found that seniors who practiced heel walking for just 10 minutes daily reduced their fall risk by 52% and increased their walking speed by 23%, which is a better predictor of longevity than blood pressure or cholesterol levels. Many practitioners report that their chronic knee pain disappears within weeks because this exercise rebalances the muscle tension around the joint, taking pressure off inflamed areas while strengthening supportive structures. Ready to discover an exercise that burns twice as many calories while building strength? But before we continue, if you've been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 5, the rising sun sits stand. This powerful movement originates from the Japanese tradition of Caesar, the formal kneeling position that older generations practice daily, combined with modern biomechanical insights that have revolutionized how we think about functional strength training for seniors. Brazilian researchers studying Japanese centenarians discovered that the ability to sit and stand from the floor without using your hands is one of the strongest predictors of longevity, with those who can do it having a 500% lower risk of death over the next 6 years compared to those who cannot. The exercise begins with you standing in front of a sturdy chair, then slowly lowering yourself to a seated position without plopping down, using controlled muscle engagement throughout the entire descent, which activates over 200 different muscle fibers in your legs, core, and back simultaneously. The magic happens in the negative or eccentric phase of the movement, where your muscles are lengthening under tension, creating microscopic adaptations that research shows are 3 times more effective for building strength than conventional exercises. Once seated, pause for 2 seconds while maintaining perfect posture with your chest proud and shoulders back. Then initiate the rise by pressing through your heels, imagining you're pushing the floor away from you rather than pulling yourself up. The Japanese modification that makes this especially effective involves a slight forward lean at the beginning of the rise, which engages your glutes more effectively and protects your knees from excessive stress. As you progress, you can increase the difficulty by holding light weights at your chest. Though Japanese practitioners often use a technique called isometric tensing, where you deliberately slow the movement down to 10 seconds up and 10 seconds down, creating incredible strength gains without any equipment. The recommended protocol based on the Tokyo study is to perform 3 sets of 12 repetitions with a 2-minute rest between sets to allow for optimal muscle recovery and adaptation. What's remarkable is that MRA scans show this exercise increases muscle fiber density in the quadriceps by 23% in just 8 weeks, while also improving mitochondrial function, which is your cell's ability to produce energy efficiently. Participants consistently report that everyday activities like getting out of cars, climbing stairs, and even getting up from the toilet become effortless after just a few weeks of practice. The next exercise takes this concept even further with a movement that ancient monks used to maintain strength into their 90s. Number 4, the temple squat hold. Dating back over 1,000 years to Buddhist temples, where monks would hold this position during hours of meditation, the temple squat hold has been scientifically validated as one of the most effective exercises for building what researchers call time under tension strength, which is particularly important for aging muscles that don't respond well to explosive movements. The Osaka Longevity Institute found that seniors who practice this isometric hold for just 5 minutes daily increased their leg strength by 89% in 3 months, while also improving their bone density by 12%. Which is comparable to prescription osteoporosis medications, but without the side effects. The exercise starts with your feet positioned slightly wider than shoulder width, toes pointed outward at about a 30-degree angle, which is the natural alignment that protects your knees and allows for optimal muscle activation throughout your entire lower body. You then lower yourself down until your thighs are parallel to the ground or as low as comfortable, maintaining an upright torso as if you're sitting back into an invisible chair with your weight distributed evenly across your entire foot, not just your toes or heels. The key distinction of the temple squat hold is that instead of moving up and down, you maintain this position while focusing on your breathing, taking slow, deep breaths that help oxygenate your muscles and trigger the release of growth factors that stimulate muscle repair and growth. Japanese practitioners often incorporate a mental component where they visualize energy flowing up from the earth through their legs, which sounds mystical, but research shows that this type of visualization can increase muscle activation by up to 30% through enhanced mind-muscle connection. Start by holding the position for 20 seconds, then gradually work up to 2-minute holds as your strength improves, always prioritizing perfect form over duration because poor form can create imbalances that lead to injury. The beauty of this exercise is that it strengthens not just your major muscle groups like quadriceps and glutes, but also hundreds of tiny stabilized muscles that are crucial for balance and preventing falls. Studies using electromyography, which measures muscle electrical activity, show the temple activates more muscle fibers body exercise. This practiced growth hormone production by 200%, accelerating muscle building and fat loss simultaneously. Time to explore a walking technique that transforms every step into a strength-building opportunity. Number 3, the Warrior's Walking Meditation. This extraordinary exercise combines the ancient Japanese practice of kinhen or walking meditation with modern biomechanical principles to create what researchers are calling the most effective, low-impact strength training method ever developed for seniors. A groundbreaking study from Nagoya University followed 500 seniors who practiced this technique for 20 minutes daily and found they not only doubled their leg strength, but also improved their cognitive function by 34%, suggesting this exercise literally strengthens both your body and brain simultaneously. The technique involves walking in an extremely slow pace, taking about 5 seconds per step, which forces your muscles to work continuously against gravity in a way that normal walking never does, creating constant tension that triggers massive strength adaptations. You begin by standing tall with perfect posture, then lift one knee up toward your chest as high as comfortable, holding it there for a full 2 seconds while maintaining balance on your standing leg, which fires up every stabilizer muscle from your ankles to your core. As you slowly extend your lifted leg forward, you control the descent over 3 seconds, gently rolling from heel to toe as you transfer your weight, feeling every muscle fiber engage in a way that's impossible with regular walking. The Japanese masters teach that you should imagine you're walking through thick honey or deep water, creating resistance with your own muscular control rather than external weights, which makes this exercise incredibly safe for joints while being brutally effective for strength building. What makes this particularly powerful is that it trains your muscles in the exact movement patterns you use in daily life, but with exponentially more time under tension, creating what exercise scientists call functional strength that directly translates to real-world activities. Research shows that this slow motion walking increases something called motor unit recruitment by 400%, meaning you're activating muscle fibers that have been dormant for years, literally waking up muscles you forgot you had. The protocol involves walking for 10 steps forward, then 10 steps backward, which challenges your nervous system in different ways and has been shown to improve reaction time and prevent falls more effectively than any other intervention. Brain scans reveal that this exercise creates new neural pathways between your motor cortex and muscles, essentially rewiring your nervous system for better strength and coordination that lasts long after the exercise session ends. Practitioners often report feeling a profound sense of stability and power in their legs after just a few sessions, with many saying they feel more grounded and confident in their movement than they have in decades. Prepare yourself for an exercise so powerful that Japanese athletes use it to rehab from injuries faster than any other method. Number 2, the sacred Shiko stance. Derived from the ancient training rituals of sumo wrestlers, but modified for safety and effectiveness in seniors, the Shiko stance has been proven by modern sports science to activate more muscle mass simultaneously than any other standing exercise, making it incredibly efficient for time-pressed seniors who want maximum results. Researchers at the Japanese Institute of Sports Sciences discovered that this exercise increases what they call functional muscle power by 115% in just 6 weeks, which is the type of strength you need for explosive movements like catching yourself from a fall or quickly standing from a seated position. The movement begins with your feet positioned about twice shoulder width apart, toes pointed outward at 45 degrees angles, creating a stable base that protects your knees while maximizing glute and inner thigh activation that most exercises completely ignore. From this position, you slowly lower yourself by bending your knees and pushing them outward in line with your toes, descending until your thighs are parallel to the ground or as low as comfortable while keeping your spine completely straight and your chest proud. The critical element that makes this different from a regular squat is that you hold the bottom position for 3 seconds while performing what the Japanese call root breathing, where you imagine drawing energy up from the ground through your feet, which creates an intense isometric contraction throughout your entire lower body. As you rise back up, you squeeze your glutes powerfully and push through your heels. But here's the secret that makes this exercise magical. At the top of the movement, you lift one leg out to the side, holding it for 2 seconds before lowering it back down, then repeat with the other leg, this lateral leg lift. Component is what separates the Shiko from every other squat variation, as it strengthens the often neglected hip abductors and external rotators that are absolutely crucial for preventing the sideways falls that cause 80% of hip fractures in seniors. The traditional protocol involves performing 3 sets of 8 repetitions, with each rep including both the squat and alternating leg lifts, resting 90 seconds between sets to allow for optimal neural recovery. What's fascinating is that this exercise has been shown to increase bone density in the hip joint by 15% in just 12 weeks, which is particularly important since hip fractures are often called the beginning of the end for seniors due to their devastating impact on independence and mortality. Advanced practitioners can add a gentle bounce at the bottom of the movement, which creates what's called plyometric stimulation that research shows can increase fast-twitch muscle fiber activation by 200%. Giving you the explosive power to react quickly in emergency situations. Now get ready for the number one exercise that Harvard researchers say is the closest thing to a fountain of youth for your legs. Number 1, the longevity load to stand. This remarkable exercise, which combines elements of traditional Japanese balance training with cutting-edge neuromuscular science, has been proven by Harvard Medical School to be the single most effective exercise for preventing falls, building strength, and maintaining independence in seniors, with participants showing an average strength increase of 127% in just 8 weeks. The exercise involves standing on one leg while performing specific movements with your arms and free leg that challenge every system in your body simultaneously, from your vestibular balance system to your deepest core muscles to every single muscle fiber in your standing leg. You begin by standing next to a wall or sturdy chair for support if needed, then lift one foot about 6 in off the ground, finding your balance point while keeping your standing leg slightly bent to protect your knee and engage more muscle fibers. Once stable, you perform what the Japanese call the lotus bloom sequence, where you slowly extend your lifted leg forward. Hold for 3 seconds, then move it out to the side for 3 seconds, then behind you for 3 seconds, creating a pattern that challenges your balance and strength in every plane of motion. The magic of this exercise lies in something called proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation, where your brain is forced to recruit dormant muscle fibers and create new neural pathways to maintain balance, literally rewiring your nervous system for better strength and coordination. Thanks for watching.